This chapter of our immigration story in England has been brought to life by recent research by the London School of Economics and UCD, which is now the subject of an exhibition in EPIC, the museum on the Quays. And I haven't been there yet, but it's Ireland's Immigration Museum, and I'm looking forward to attending there. But using economic history and data, it examines the changing circumstances of Irish immigrants to England over the past 200 years. The exhibition shows the enormous contribution by Irish men and women to English society through their hard work, vibrant culture and their political activism. And again, when preparing for this with my team, what stood out actually was the high number of young women who sought freedom, perhaps, sought a new way of life, sought less restriction. And it hasn't been commented on, I think, often enough, the amount of young women that left our shores. It also, of course, the research sets out the obstacles to be overcome, which those obstacles captured succinctly by the title, No Irish Need Apply. And again, that's not too far back. The exhibition recognises the crucial role of remittances, something close to my own heart, in providing a lifeline for household survival here in Ireland, supporting the families left behind and funding further chain migration. In the period between 1940 and 1970, Irish immigrants in the UK sent an estimated 4.8 billion back to Ireland, a significant proportion of Ireland's national income. Moreover, at a time when it was certainly not valued at home, the Irish community in England played a very important role in keeping Irish music and culture alive. Of course, the stipulation that no Irish need apply wasn't just England. It was also prevalent in other countries, and particularly in America.